Yes.
Brothers and sisters,
We love you.
then I get a practical theology. And then background to ya research yaka. Ke tlo thoma ka yona. Ke researcha ka mokgatlo wa CWM. Mo e leng hore ntho e leng hore e a ntshwenya. Oh, let me speak English. Okay, what I have observed Kamo CWM is that we have elderly members of the ministry. Elderly members who are no longer able to come to church because some of them are bedridden, some of them can no longer see, some of them, you know, they're just sick, they cannot come to church anymore. And what is happening in the ministry is that presently we're having a lot of new members who are coming in as CW members, myself included. And then what is happening is we're starting to neglect the elderly members in that when they pass away, we start saying, we're checking their arrears, what is happening what was happening in their life, whether they were contributing. And as a result, what I see as a problem is when we do this, the children of our elderly members, after experiencing what happened when their mothers passed away, they leave the church because of what we are doing as a church. My proposal at the beginning was about CWM within UCSA Mamelodi East. But then my supervisor advised me not to use a specific church. And unfortunately, that happened in our last contact session at UP. That was in July. And after that, I changed my topic, but then he hasn't come back to me to approve the proposal. So my topic is the neglect of CWM elderly women, a pastoral challenge. My introduction is CWM is one of the oldest ministries of the Uniting Reformed Church in South Africa. And it was previously known as CFYFY, which stands for Christelike Vroue Vereniging. The Uniting Reformed Church in South Africa was formed in 1994 when the Dutch Reformed Church in Africa and the Dutch Reformed Mission united. CWM is a ministry that is governed by the minister's wives within the UCSA Church. The minister's wife is the president of the ministry, and the other committee members are chosen from full members of the ministry. The values of CWM: faith in the divine God, patience and dedication to the service of God, humility and humbleness in serving God and one another, love, goodness, and care towards others, truthfulness, trustworthiness towards one another, respecting oneself and one another. And then rooted in Belha, CWM is a ministry of God-fearing women whose sole purpose is to serve God and his people. CWM is well presented in the church council of each and every congregation within UCSA. Some of our members are liturgists, some of them are preachers, some of them are interpreters in the church, some of them are ward leaders, some of them take part in church choirs and are also school teachers in the Sunday school. Now, my objective in this research is to identify what the role of the minister's wife should be as the president of the ministry. Number two is to search and come up with a pastoral care system or model for the members involved and their families, and the model that the church can use in order to break this problem that is within the church. And from the articles that I'm going to use as a literature review, I'm going to use books by pastoral care specialists Emmanuel Lati and Xiang Yang Ten. And among other books and articles, they are written by feminist theologists, Dr. Fundiso Kobo, Dr. Isabel Apao-Piri, Dr. Majipo Wane Masenya Wanampahlele, as well as Professor Landman and Professor Mary-Ann Blackis van Heffel, who are both members of the CWM. The thing is, as a church, we have to learn that aging is, from a pragmatic point of view, is a problem. It is a troublesome burden, and from a communication point of view, aging is an embarrassment. But from spiritual view, aging is a virtue and an art. So when people are old and they've aged, as a church, as ministries, we have to take care of them. The Bilhah Confession tells us what to do, because we have to stand where God stands. The church order, in our church order, it gives what church council members are supposed to do for the members of the church. If church council members are not doing their job, that is how the members suffer. Because what happens is, if we have a church council member, we have church council members, and in that ward we have like a sick person, but because he's in a ministry, the church council starts not to take care of those people. And it's not a CWM problem alone. It affects the church as well. So as a church, I think we need to stand where God stands and take care of our elderly members. My focus is only going to be on elderly women, because the methodology that I'm going to use is qualitative research, and I'm going to be using participatory observation. Because we were advised in our last contact session, like Mrs. Mahlangu said, it was too late for us to get clearance certificate to do interviews. So we're going to be using observatory participation. I thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sister. Any inputs, any clarification questions? Sister Theo?
Thanks, Chair. Thank you so much, my sister. I think I have two different opinions, that whichever one you can choose for. The first one, the subject that you talk about, it's really very important in our church as a whole, over and above the different congregations that we belong to. And I think, as much as I think you didn't want to widen your scope too much by looking as the church as a whole, focusing on the CWM. However, what I know as well as the ministry, because we fall under the church council, and that issue doesn't just affect a specific race, a specific gender within the church, it affects everybody else. And I believe that within the CWM, actually members of that CWM are somehow cushioned from being isolated more than the male part of our congregations, because not so much belong to a ministry. What I pick up is that neglect tend to be a bit cushioned when you are in a ministry, because as much as you're neglected the whole time, you get picked up towards the end of your life, so to speak. But what I would have liked is that if it's possible, if you don't focus on a ministry, because we have a service and witness structure within the church, and that's where if you look at what is it that this what do you call it? What do you call them? Under IM model, the ministries or whatever, that service and witness. If you could elaborate on what is it that they stand for, and how can we better put that into practice? Because there is a method and there is documentation. However, implementation in our church is the issue. So if you could look at how can service and witness be used to benefit the church as a whole, because I believe that if you're talking of neglect and if you talk of observation, my observation would be the male structures tend to be are the ones left out, because the main structures of our church are the ones who have not really been historically active. As such, even if you are an active member of the CWM, your spouse is not even active in the church, you have to advocate for that person. So I see that hitting very hard on male within the church. So I think if you had to look observation, actually CWM is more covered than the males within our church, because they tend to not even, nobody knows how do we bury them. I don't even know. We get questions in the CWM where people are saying, can we contribute for our husbands? You know, now they want to attend, they register their husband as an insurance policy, because they are so committed within the church. They know where they are going to end up at, or how, whatever. When now in a family, a member of the CWM would be more covered to be supported versus if the mother had to pass on and that continues, the church would be nowhere to be found in that family. So I think the males tend, in that specific item, tend to suffer more according to my observation.
Thank you.